playing some music before we get started.
Disrespect me in front of my friends. Remember that San Francisco weekend. You didn't mean it, but I did not care. Well, you ever tell me the truth? No, you didn't. Well, no, well, you did do. Indeed. Even though I loved you through and through, even though I loved you. Disrespects me in front of my friends. Remember that San Francisco weekend. You took my shoulder, said you pushed me on to the.
Okay, what's up, Twitch, and YouTube and TikTok? We're back to working on this track. This stream will be super fast because I have to get going to work really soon. But I wanted to hop on here and just make a few quick changes to the song. We're this close to finishing this track. I was tinkering with it this weekend, and I made a few changes that really improved the sound quality of this track. And I'll kind of go through some of the changes that I made really fast here in a second. Um, and so I didn't stream any of that stuff because I'm at the point where I'm making these small little changes and then I'm exporting the track and then I'm going to my car, I'm going to the speakers, and I'm listening to it and I'm taking notes and then I'm coming back, changing stuff. So it's kind of hard to stream that kind of thing. But I listened to it in the car on the way home from the gym last night, and it sounds like it's almost there. But my car is very good at handling bass. Like, I have a really good sound system in there, and it handles bass sounds really, really well. And so when I played this song in the car, it almost couldn't handle the bass in the song. And so that tells me that the bass in this song is too high in comparison to the rest of the track. And I bet you if I play this song right now and I look at the EQ curve and I look at the waveform, we're going to have a lot of low end sound, like looking very high up in volume compared to the rest of the sound. And so I feel like that's where a lot of I'm hearing like a lot of muddiness. I'm hearing a lot of, when I play on speakers that can't handle bass, like my phone or like another speaker that we have downstairs, it like it's almost quiet, as if the bass is taking up so much of the volume that's available, and so all of the other sounds, especially the high end sounds, are kind of being drowned out by that bass. So that's probably going to be the one change that I make on this song right here, right now, and I'm hoping that that will solve any other issue that I have, and that this song will finally be finished. So let's take a look at what I did to this track this weekend. Um, so there's really just a couple of things. Like I was having a hard time figuring out the intro, and I know I was doing some unmasking on here before. If you look here, I had an instance of unmask for making more room for these intro vocals, but I actually found that when I turned it off, these vocals sit pretty well with the intro. Um, I went and I lowered the volume of them and I increased the reverb to create a little bit more spread. So it kind of moves those vocals to the side and they can kind of sprinkle in from the side while the beat is still like front and center. And that's kind of, it sounds kind of good to me. So I think I like what I did there. And then I was doing some more volume balancing, especially with some of these vocals in the last chorus. I'm really belting out these last few parts, and sometimes when I listen to it, it sounds a little too loud in my ear. So I kind of went back and rebalanced some of that, and I think it sounds a little better. Um, kind of, ooh, kind of just took down the volume of some of those pieces. Um, what else did I do? Oh, my vocals, the main vocals in general. I went and watched a few YouTube videos because I was like, what is going on? I was kind of hearing some weird discrepancies in my vocals. And so I went and created this EQ curve that really does two things. It kind of creates a little bit of a dip around 500 because everyone online was saying there's a lot of muddiness and a lot of usually any mud that you're hearing is coming from around the 500 range. So I went and created a little dip there, and then I increased the volume of the high end frequencies, and that's supposed to create a lot more brightness and presence of the vocal. And I feel like it really did do that. And I'm gonna play it. I'll play my vocal here in a second, and I'll kind of turn this chain off and on. You can hear the difference. Then I also went and I have a de-esser here on my Nectar 3. You can see it here. When I went and increased the frequencies of these high ends, it really increased the frequencies of especially the S sounds. They sounded like really sharp in my ear. So I put in there was already a de-esser here, so I brought the threshold super down, but that wasn't even enough to really de-ess some of those. So I went and kind of built my own de-esser just using another EQ8. I kind of did a really deep low curve around right at 10K almost to take away some of those frequencies. And I have an automation on so that it only turns on during some of those really sharp S sounds. So it's not on all the time so that we can still hear the benefit of these higher frequencies for the first EQ, but then it turns on when those S's come in. So those were two major changes that I made to my main vocals, and we'll listen to that in a second to hear the difference. What else did I do? Did a little bit of rebalancing in the harmonies here, the ad libs, just little volume changes here and there. So yeah, those were kind of the big mixing changes that I made this past weekend. And so I'm gonna go ahead and play this song back just to get my head on right, and then we can kind of listen to some of these differences that I made. All right, let's hear it. We in the hole with Kurt Yeah, so I'm not hearing any rumble. I was hearing a really bad rumbling in that intro, but I feel like spreading it out with reverb and taking down the volume really helped to get rid of that, but still give the intro vocals a presence. Okay, so I'm gonna solo these vocals, and I just want to hear the difference of having this vocal chain on versus off. So here, we're gonna turn it off. And you can hear just how much more muffled and like almost like you put a blanket over the microphone. And then you turn it on. Off.
It out, be smooth, make more space.
Yeah, so it's like night and day in terms of it's really night and day in terms of the sound quality. Very much more brightness there. And you can see, I'll show you my de-esser, or you can see all of these, the de-esser coming off and on. So I kind of just manually did that so that it takes away some of those sharp S's there.
So will you make me work it out? Make it smooth. I'll make more space for me and you. You know what I want to do.
Yeah, so those were kind of the main changes that I made. And it sounded really, really good in my car. It sounded pretty good on my phone. Sounded good on my speakers here. Yeah, so one thing, just one single thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check out this waveform for this track. And I just want to see kind of what the spread of noise looks like. I feel like I have a problem with, I don't know how to explain. I feel like I mix a lot with my ears, obviously, but I feel like you can also see a lot of information just with your eyes. And so if you're seeing that you're getting a lot of volume in one side of the waveform versus another, then that probably tells you that your track is a little bit imbalanced. And I love bass, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you don't need to blast the bass so much in the mix. You can just get it balanced and make sure that the bass is there and that it's present, but then let your speaker handle the increase in bass. If you want to turn up the bass on your speaker, then the speaker itself can do that, and it can probably do it in a more controlled way than me piling on bass in the mix, and then you put it on a speaker and it's like blowing the bass out of the water in a way that doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna play this track and just take a look at the waveform and just do some EQing to kind of try to tame those bass sounds. Not really take them away, but just kind of bring them down a little bit so that it's a little bit more balanced across the whole track. All right, so let's play this. Might as well just put a high cut at 20K just because why not? And you can already see, look at this waveform, how much I can see exactly where this bass line is and just how high it is compared to the rest of the track. So what we'll probably do is just create a very gentle high pass and just kind of roll off that bass. And you can already see how it kind of brought this peak, it kind of evened it out. So if we turn it off, oh, well, yeah, no. So if we turn this off, oh, well, now it's gone. Let's go back to the beginning. Look how high this peak goes. It's almost hitting 12 decibels. But we turn this on, now it kind of comes down a little bit. We can probably move this over even a little more. And now you can see it's kind of more in this halfway between 6 and 12. Versus when we turn that off, it is like booming, even past 12. So we turn this on and it doesn't take away the bass. You can still obviously hear it, but it kind of just helps keep it a little more controlled. Now you can see that this waveform is a little bit more even. It kind of has a more even drop off towards the high end. Instead of this big old peak over here that's taking up so much volume. think that makes so much more sense for this track.
Make more space for me and
Let's
you.
hear this.
So will you make room? Will you make
Here, let me turn this off. Look how much low end we're getting. This is probably where so much of my volume, so much of my muddiness is going. So it's just taking up so much space in the track and probably pushing everything else off. So we turn that on, it kind of tames that bass, which then leaves room for the rest of the high end to come through. I feel like I could even hear my vocals a little bit better just by doing that attenuation there. Yeah, so that was really the only change that I wanted to make here is just tighten up this EQ curve a little bit and tame that bass. Might probably have to come back and forth and mess with this a little bit, but that was really the only thing that I wanted to do this morning. Besides to make some album art. So let's bring this down. We have that on the master track, so that helps us to just tighten up this EQ a little bit. So we're gonna save that. I don't know. I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. So we're gonna export this and we'll bring it into our master project mix. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we want to go with that. So my goal was to release this song the day after Christmas, which is about a month out now. So I'm gonna export this. I'm gonna put this new mix into the master chain. I'm gonna listen to it on all of my systems and make some last minute tweaks throughout today. I hope to be able to submit it to the publisher by tomorrow at midnight, I guess. So that's kind of the plan. And yeah, so we're just exporting this. Did want to get started on some album art, so let's actually just go ahead and pull up Canva now while this is loading. And I wanted to just get started on some album art. So I like to use Canva. It's very simple, it's free. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. So we have Canva pulled up while we're waiting for this song to export. And so for album art, I have, yeah, I'll let y'all see what I'm seeing. Oops. For album art, I have an idea. I have a folder of pictures that I like, and I move it to this folder called Cover Art Pics. And it's just a whole bunch of pictures here that are interesting to me that I figure I might want to use in some future album art. So I was thinking I would use this picture because I don't know, I feel like the vibe of the song is kind of, I don't know. I was using an Alina Baraz song as my reference track, and I feel like this song kind of just has that vibe, kind of soft. Um, Definitely want to have some like floral elements in there. I just think it looks kind of cool. And when I look through these pictures, this one just kind of jumped out at me as a picture that I feel like would fit the vibe for this song. So we're going to use this picture as our album art. So I'm just going to drag it over to Canva, and there it is. So we know album art is a perfect square, so we'll have to choose which section of square, which section of this picture we'll want to use. It's actually a little closer so you can see this album art. Okay, what section of picture I want to use? Looking at it now, actually, so I'm working on a different screen that is kind of like very overly saturated, so it looks kind of weird from the screen I'm working on. Um, but looking at what you guys can see over on Twitch and YouTube, it's actually looking pretty cool. So I just need to choose which section of picture I want to use. Um, I'll probably have to come back and just work on this on my own so that I can use my regular screen because this one looks really weird. But yeah, something like this will probably be my album art. I'm so finicky with like getting it absolutely perfect frame. So I'll spend a million years just moving it around like this. I think that right there looks kind of cool. Let me just rename it. Okay, and we'll get back to that. So let's go back into Ableton. We exported the song. Let's bring out our master track and then automatically, that file should have been replaced with this file. So we shouldn't have to import it again. It's already pulling from the file that was saved to my computer since we just replaced the file. So let's go ahead and play it and see how this sounds.
We in the hole with Kurt Lab.
Oh yeah, and for my mastering, I did a few different things. Added a limiter here. Ozone has a nice limiter that has these different modes. So you can see modern is vintage limiting with increased clarity and presence. So that's the one that I use for this track. It also has a tube, which is a smooth feedback limiter with modern precision. I'm not really sure what that means in terms of sound. Analog is tight bass response with thick vintage imaging. So I'm not really even sure what those terms mean in terms of sound, but I kind of just listened to all three and thought that modern was the best. Um, just have my ceiling at 0, threshold kind of high, and our attack and release kind of fast. I don't know. Yeah, I threw on the limiter on here and I feel like it really helps to increase volume, but in a very controlled way, which is the whole point of the limiter. For my mastering chain, just did a little bit of EQing. I went in again and kind of did a very wide, oh my gosh, it always does this. Let's delete that one. I just went in and did just a very modest, oops, I know. Just a very modest low cut again around 500 just to get rid of some of that muddiness. I did an even smaller cut over at about 5,000 just because in my music class I was told that the hertz range for human speaking voice is around, what was it? I think it was, what did he say? Oh, 3 to 5,000 is the general range for human speaking. And so he was saying what some producers do is they make a little bit of a cut around that range so that if you're playing this song very loud, people can still have a chance to talk to each other while it's playing. So I don't know if you've ever experienced that in the club or something where the song is booming, but you can still kind of talk to people. And so this is kind of where that comes from. And then I went and just created another little bit of a bump, not too much around the high end, just to give back a little bit of clarity that I took away from the middle. And then I created a brick wall right at the edge of 20,000 to get rid of any extra stuff on the outside of that frequency. And what else? I have my EQ that's basically doing the same thing, cutting at 20 and 20,000 to get rid of unwanted frequency there. And I added my mono bass using the utility tool just to tighten up those bass lines and make them in mono. Helps to get rid of a little low end muddiness. And yeah, that was all I did with regards to mastering. So let's play this track now with my new EQ that we just put in there and see how that sounds.
We in the hole with Kurt Lab.
You can see how much more, like if you turn these off and on, you can hear the difference. very much hear the difference there. Oh yeah. Let's check out the EQ curve and see what it looks like. I might even still go and kind of attenuate some of the space a little tiny bit. With the EQ curve.
Will you make room? I wanna know if you make room. Will you make room?
That's just attenuating that bass. My vocals almost sound too loud.
So will you make me work it out? Make it smooth. I'll make more space for me.
So I'm just messing with these. I almost feel like attenuating that bass really brought out my vocals almost a little too much. So I'm just kind of going through and just attenuating those a little bit, not much. Let's go back and hear the vocals again.
We could fight battles, no fun for you. We could do silent treatments, but I don't wanna keep no secrets from you, my darling. All I want to do is lay my head upon you, and we could work it out, be smooth, and make more space for me and you. So will you make room?
I also wonder if I need to go back and maybe just come down on my vocals just a little bit because if I'm having to do this much gain reduction, then I fucked up somewhere in the mixing portion. So let's go back and open up the original mix, and I'm just gonna feel like I was pushing my vocals so hard because the bass was walking all over it, but now that I took down the bass a little bit, I have room for my vocal, but now I feel like it's a little bit too much. So what was I doing? I think I was doing a lot of makeup gain in my compressor here in Nectar. So I'm probably gonna come down on that, but let's take a listen. I'll probably just come back.
We could fight the hardest. No fun for you. We could do silent treatments, but I don't wanna keep no secrets.
Sometimes I'll turn it really quiet and really loud just to hear different sides. I'm just kind of messing with my vocals just to make it a little bit more balanced. We can take a look at our waveform. And we can see now my vocal is like the highest point of this whole track. And we want the vocal to be heard, but we don't want it to sound so out of place. Let's go back to the top. Just trying to get these vocals to be at a similar level to the rest of the mix. So let's hear it from the top again.
We could fight the hardest. No fun for you.
Almost.
Could do silent treatments, but I don't wanna keep no secrets from you, my darling. All I want to do is lay my head upon you, and we could work it out, be smooth, make more
Do this again.
space from you, my darling. All I want to do is lay my head upon you,
time. Do it one more time. So you can see this waveform is starting to become a little bit more even. I still have a lot of my volume in the vocals, but it's not peaking as crazy as it used to. What we might even do is just just coming on the volume a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. See, I don't like that. No, we're not gonna mess with that. See how this last part sounds. Hear that again. That again. Alright, let's hear it from the top. Hear the hook one more time. I feel like I'm trying to attenuate certain sounds, and I feel like instead I'm just gonna go and just turn those specific sounds down instead of trying to EQ them out so I don't affect all of the audio. Look at this. So this word my, love that high note, but it's just a little bit loud. So we're just gonna bring it down maybe like -1. Not much, but it's just a little bit piercing to me. Let's see, now it sounds weird to me. So let's do -0.5. Do -0.6. Let's hear that one more time. That sounds better. So let's keep playing it. I think I'm gonna come down on the makeup gain on the compressor. Have it at 1. I think I'll go back to 0.7. Let's hear that. I'm just going here in the EQ, kind of coming down on some of these frequencies here. I think that sounds pretty good. I think that sounds a lot more balanced. Let's check out the EQ. So you can see that my vocals are just about the highest point of the track. I feel like it's sitting a lot more flush with the bass, and we're having a nice curve off into the high end. And high end sounds are usually louder than low end sounds. They're perceived to be louder anyway, so we want them not too high in relation to the low end. But yeah, this just sounds a lot more balanced to me, and it looks a lot more balanced too. So cool. All right. Yeah, so need to just remember to take a look at things with my eyes as well as my ears. The waveform can tell you a lot about how balanced your track is. So, okay, let's export that and see how it sounds. Oh, let's export this and see how it sounds in the master. And this will probably be the last time I do this here. I need to hop off here, but let's see. Let's export this real fast and see how it sounds on the master. So I'm gonna give a shout out to people on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch for the comments and the suggestions for the song. Taking everything into account and trying to incorporate it into the track. So appreciate you guys listening and giving feedback. Yes, we're exporting this for hopefully the last time, maybe not, we'll see. But just wanted to get on here and do that final EQing on camera and see how it sounds in the master, and then take a listen to it in my car on the way to work today and see how I feel about it and see how my car handles the bass there. Hopefully it sounds a little more not crazy since we took away a lot of that big boom bass. All right, hurry up. Hurry up. All right. Now let's go into the master and just give it one good listen. Take a look at our EQs and see if we need to change anything here.
We in the hole with Kurt Lab.
Nice and loud. Love it. Our EQ curve, it's just a lot more balanced here on the low end, and then it's kind of dropping off here on the high end, so we're giving it a little bit back. This bump right here. I might even set this bump a little bit higher.
We could fight
Alright, so I'm going to skip to the end, just see how that sounds. EQ work we did, we can kind of bring back some of these here. All right, cool. So we'll come back and mess with that a little bit. I'm trying to get going, but thanks so much for listening. Let me know what you think of the track. Um, Send me a message on whenever you're out, if you have any questions or comments. All right, yeah, so we are getting off, but yeah, we're this close to being done. I might go ahead and export it and listen it to my car, and probably come back, make a couple more tinkers, and then we're gonna be all done. So let's go ahead and hop off. I'm gonna play you guys out on some music.